Hey everyone, it's Sansa Rain back with another video. I want to talk to you about a model that I created. It's called the AWP model. It's a model that I use in all endeavors of life. A stands for awareness, W stands for work, and P stands for protection. Awareness, work, protection. That's what AWP stands for. And I use this model to help you to get from point A to B, or Z, should I say, A to Z, when it comes to a goal, reaching a goal. So, first off, your awareness is coming from you recognizing that there's some actions that you need to take to get to success. Because just, you know, being aware of it, that's the first step. But being aware of it means that you have to keep record of that you are aware of that. Otherwise, that's something you might have to relearn, or a process you might have to go through again because you didn't get the lesson down. So that's where journaling comes in. Journaling helps us as a guide to be in order with what we know we got to do. Journaling is going to be your blueprint to life. I mean, how dope would it be for you to create your own life? And that's what journaling does. So you start journaling, you writing down what it is you need to do, where you need to go at, and you mapping out your blueprint of what you want your life to be. And nobody knows this but you. You're the only person who knows what your biggest dreams are and what your biggest aspirations are in life and what you want to get done while you're here. Nobody knows this but you. So you got to do the research, do the work to figure out what it is you need to do so that you can create this own life of yours. So the AWP model works because the awareness, the A, comes in when you take the action to start journaling, start getting in routine of things that you know you need to do. Make it a part of your daily routine. Don't just do it every now and then. Success, it comes with, repetition. You got to keep on working on it so you can get better. So you need to find out what works for you, because you might be in one season of your life and you're using a certain tool, and then you move on to the next level, and that tool doesn't work for you anymore. So journaling is the blueprint. Okay, we're not going to build it like that no more because that didn't work or it doesn't work anymore. We're going to go over here and build it this way. And that's what journaling is. It's a history book of your progress. It's a history book of what it is that trying to reach to. So the A stands for awareness. That's you journaling, becoming aware of the action that you need to take, writing down everything, writing down you need to work on, reading more. You need to work on getting better sleep, whatever it is that you need to work on so that you can elevate your self being, your whole transformation to go faster if you start taking these steps. So you start journaling. And then the W stands for work. You got to do the work. You can't just journal it down, as thoughts and not actually take action on what you done wrote down. So you got to actually write this stuff down and take action with it. If it says, you go back and it says you need to exercise more. Okay, it means today you got to at least do 15 minutes of some type of physical work. And when I say work, it's not going to always be this way. You're going to always have to do work because that's what we're here to do. But work doesn't necessarily mean have to work hard. You can work hard now so that you don't have to work hard forever, for later. None of that. Take action now so that you can live. You might have to live hard for a couple years. You might say some people get it quicker than that. It depends on you and how fast you're working, how fast you're growing and learning through your blueprint that you're following. So you got to do the work. Whatever it is that you got to do to work to keep the progress moving, you got to keep the goal going. So you got to do the work in between there and before you even get to success. And then when you get to success, there's still work to do because you got to protect what it is that you worked hard for. You may have worked hard so that you can become the CEO of the company, but you want to protect yourself. You want to make sure that you got in your name signed on all documents the right way. Make sure you got your office in order and it's up to ethical standards. So whatever it is you got to do being this CEO, dressing a certain way, making sure you on time and making your meetings or whatever it is that you got to do to be the CEO, you got to do the protection work as well so that you can keep that position. So protection is where it comes in with the P. AWP, awareness, work, protection. It's a model that I use on all endeavors and it works for me. You can use it to just start out to work writing your own life out. Write your own life out by starting with journaling. That's all you got to do is start journaling stuff down and seeing how you grow. Even in 30 days, you can see, wow, I was thinking like this just 30 days ago, and I done grown so much within these 30 days. And it comes from journaling, it comes from you keeping a record of your growth. Because some people, if they do the work right, they could be the CEO of this large corporation. They could be the CEO, or if it's your dream to open up a coffee cafe in the morning, every morning, and you open up your own shop. That's a gift. That's something miraculous that you dreamed of, that you always wanted to have. So once you work to get there, you're gonna protect it any way that you can. So you got to become aware of your dream. You got to work for your dream, and you got to protect your dream. And that's all work. It's all work. It never stops from deciding that you want to be successful all the way until you die. It's gonna be work you got to do because even when you get to success, you still got to do the work to protect what it is you work to get. So you can't be lazy in no type of way if you want to be successful. Ain't no half doing it. Ain't no I'm gonna do it this way. This is the easy way out. Well, it's a slimmer chance of you getting everything that you want, but it's a model called AWP that I created that's good to follow by if you are desiring success, if you are just striving to be a better person, striving to make any type of goal. You can use it in every aspect of life. It's called AWP, awareness, work, protection. I use the model in every aspect of life, and it depends on the person whether they work hard enough to become the CEO, or if they are the owner of that coffee shop, or you might be big enough to where all you got to do is check the mailbox every day. That's it depends on how hard you worked to what level you gonna get to. You can't be envying the other person because they're faster than you. They got their 6 years faster than you, and you started at the same time. That's why the Bible says, not to envy or covetousness thy neighbor, because you're envying, taking all of your energy, envying what the other person has, and you could be using that God-given energy to pour into yourself, to pour into your own dreams. But you want to use all this negative energy, which is double positive energy, that you could be using to pour into yourself. So why not use that energy to get closer to your dream, get closer to where you want to be in life, and stop worrying about everybody else around you? That's what they mean when they say stay in your own lane. That's what they mean when they say mind your business. You can't be worried about what everybody else got. It's about what you want. If you've made that decision, really, if you really made that decision that you tired of how life used to be and you ready to, level up and live a different life, then You're gonna have to do some work. I know it was hard all the way up to now. I know, but I can't stay in that same spot. I know that, and I'm getting there. I'm gonna get there all the way. Everything that I want, everything that I need, I want it all. I ain't gonna stop. So, but I am creating my own life. I am putting in the work to create my own reality, create my own success. And I'm going to protect mine when I get there too. I'm going to keep on working to protect it. But I am aware of what it is that I want and what I need and what I need to do to work towards it. So I'm going to do that every day and try to come on here and relate to you the information that I learned, the information that I use to help me. And if it works, I'll relay it to you. But if it don't, I can still relate it to you. It may work for you, even though it didn't work for me. But yeah, I am aware of what it is I need to do to get to the success that I want, because I'm the only one who knows my dreams. Nobody else. There's no point in telling nobody else my dreams. No point in you telling nobody else your dreams. They're not going to see it. They're not going to understand it. You are the only one who has that vision. You are the only one who knows how to build this dream, because it's in the way that you want it to be. It's the way you want your life to mold to. You just got to make the decision to do the work instead of being lazy and staying stuck in a cycle that no longer serves you. And I got to come up with some other kind of phrase, because I done heard it so many times, and I just wish it was a different way to say that. But yeah, stuck in the old cycles, and you just ready to change. You gotta use what you got in you and search for more. Search for more so that you can keep growing, keep getting better, keeping your blueprints for your children, for the people that come after you. Keep your blueprints. Keep a record of what you did to get there. That'll help somebody else. Keep a record of how you did it, the steps you took, the trials you went through to get there, all of that. Record it down in your journal, and people that come behind us can see what it is that they need to do to make it too. Or you can be inspiring somebody in your own generation right now. But journaling is your guide to life. You will write down the things that are in your mind. They come to your mind for a reason, because those are your desires. Start writing them down. And then you start seeing it more repetition. You start seeing it. You're going to be like, oh, well, I need to start doing this so that I can get towards my goal. I need to start doing this so that I can get to this point. It's a blueprint. You start from the bottom and you build it up, just like an architect. It's a blueprint. It's a layout of the construction of your life. Build it yourself. And it's gonna be even better. Don't let nobody else build it, because it be done. The left wing done fell out, the windows done blew out and everything. But if you create it yourself, you know where it's supposed to be what and how to place it and all of that. You know how to arrange it so it can be to your liking. And this is what it's about. This is all it's about, is us to enjoy our experience here. So we have to work to build it what it's gonna be. And I just got a deeper realization on that when I just said it. But yeah, that's all it is. I'm a unicorn and I'm gonna shine like one, baby. I'm not letting my life go to waste. I'm not gonna wait on nobody. I'm gonna keep using my AWP model to make it to my success. I want my success to come into fruition for me while I'm on this earth, while I'm still youthful and got the energy to work for it. Because what else is it? What else you gonna do? Sit around and die? No. I wanna do as much as I can, make as much money as I can, have a biggest family as I can, help as many people as I can, help myself, you know? So, like I said, I use the AWP model: awareness, work, protection. Be aware of what it is that you need to do. Write it down. Create your own life. Create your blueprint. Write it out. Construct it. Whatever it is that you want to do, construct it in the way that you want it, that you'll be satisfied. When you walk in your home, you want your home to look a certain way, you design that. If you want to dress a certain way, you design that. And once you start visualizing it and writing it down and seeing what it is, you're going to make it happen. Your mind is going to take you to actions to make this thing happen. It's just automatic. So write it down, do the work, stick to it. Don't just write it down and forget about it. Put it under the bed. Don't never pull your journal out. Now leave it on your bed. So after you make up your bed, and make sure you put that journal right there on top. So you know you got a journal either in the morning or whenever you journal. Because I used to journal every day. Now I don't journal as much because I have moved to a different level to where I don't have to all the time. But I'm trying to tell you that it works. It gets you started to you to get your foot, on the ground and get running. Once you get to a certain level, you like, okay, you understand that you don't even have to, it's automatic now. Those things that you used to have to write down and remind yourself of all the time, now you ain't got to do that no more. Like I used to write down affirmations in my journal. And then like I still got my own little ways that I remind myself as well. But I used to write down what I wanted in life, what I how I felt, and I still do all of that. But it's a certain way that I journal now that I don't even used to journal. I used to do everything until I built myself up to a level where I'm like, okay, I ain't gotta do that no more. Cause it's instilled in here. I train my mind by doing it repetitiously. So journal. I don't care if you got to get 2, 3 journals. If you write big, or however you write, make sure that you are journaling as much as you can, and then you ain't got to go back and read it every day. Wait 30 days. You can wait 60 days, however many days that you feel like, okay, I want to go back and see how I've grown. I want to go back and see what was I thinking on this day. I want to go see what happened this day. A certain number may appear in your head, and it's just little stuff, synchronicities that may have you return to that on a certain day. And you'll find messages in there, pathways and tools to use for where you are now that's going to push you forward, that's going to uplift your spirit, to be grateful for writing that down, being grateful for being aware. Now you have a more sense of self-awareness because you're writing down what's going on in your life. You're writing down how you feeling today, how you made it through that situation. Or because your journaling, it ain't always about one thing. Oh nah, it shouldn't be anyway. I went to work today and Paul didn't show up, or I went to work today and the boss was angry, or you want to do no repetitious writing like that. You want to collectively word, what happened throughout your day, how you feeling. It could be you writing it today, but how you felt yesterday. Write that down, and I always date mine so I can see when it was that this happened. So journaling is a good guide for you to start being aware of yourself. It's an awareness tool, a self-awareness tool that'll help you grow faster than you just going through life thinking you've overcome something that you haven't yet, or thinking that you don't need to work on it because you didn't journal it down. You might start seeing patterns of things that you write down in your journal. Like, okay, I always do this on this day and this on this day. What's going on? And it'll give you insight on what to do, where to look at next to fix that problem. So the journaling is very, very important. It's important for emotional growth, self-awareness, emotional growth, and just a pathway of knowing where you're going. Then you got to do the work. You gotta do the work to keep on the path that you on. Do the work to stay strong. Do the work that practice to get better. Practice on what it is that you need to do to get better. If you need to work on your speech, practice, get better, use tools, whatever they got out there to so that you can be more understood by a broader audience, whatever it is. I know I'm country. I'm from Kentucky. So, and then we don't even say that. We say Louisville. So, I'm from Louisville. So, I know my accent is deep, and, some people may not understand everything I say. So, they might have to put closed caption on her if that's even catching it the right way. But yeah, so it's certain things that you need to write down that you know that you need to work on, and it'll point it out to you. And it's just, a reminder of yourself of what you need to work on. And then when you finally get to your success, when you finally get that house you want, when you finally get that job you want, you got to do what you need to do to protect that. Because you work so hard. I mean, it's been a long ride. You work so hard to get that. I ain't finna let nobody take it from me. No. That's why sometimes you gotta move in silence. You gotta do what it is that you need to do. You can't be listening to people. It's all kind of people be sending you distractions, sending you evil eyes, sending you just craziness. Yeah, stay on your tippy toes and yeah, man. Protect yourself. You got to protect what it is that you work so hard to get. You got to protect it with all your might. You got to protect it with all your money. You got to protect it with all your heart. Because, I mean, and now when it comes to certain things, God takes things away from us, and I don't know necessarily what reason these things happen, but sometimes things happen. But on this end, I really feel like this is the end of bliss. This side is gonna be way more funner than the last side was, because the last side was hard. It was hard. It was rough. Boy, boy, boy. It was rough. But yeah, I think this side is gonna be a lot better. I know it is. It's got to be. It's got to be. But the AWP model is gonna be here to stay. It's going to be throughout different videos, and a model that's going to carry us through this journey and yeah, keep us pushing in the right direction. So the AWP model, come and be a part of the AWP team. Be part of the AWP team. I gotta get some t-shirts that say AWP. I'm like, what does that mean? So I gotta get some AWP t-shirts. But y'all have a good one, and yeah, we're gonna be using that model going forward. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.